Alright, welcome guys. We are getting ready to start a Axis game here. I This is still a placement game with one loss on my record because I timed out round one on a different game. But anyways, I don't know much about my opponent. But what I did want, I'm not really playing ranked seriously at all. I wanted to just try something different. So going into this game, I decided I'm going to try the G1 carrier and explore that option a little bit. And open up the game. I'm looking at this. And I'm like, golly, why did that? That's such a good R1. 8 infantry in West Russia, the 3 tanks, the infantry and the artillery and the AA in Ukraine. I'm like, man. Um, so I think I'm gonna pivot. I still want to do something I've never done before because that's the idea. So my other two options of play that I weighed is a destroyer build with the battleship and transport coming in here, or a tank rush. So it's debating between tank rush, destroyer, or carrier, which are all styles that have been shown and played well into the platinum and even the top 10 ranked uh, guys. So people have shown they can play them well. I'm doing this without really having studying the theory behind them or what their classical moves are or anything. So I'm really just winging this on something I really don't know much about. So bear with me. It should be fun at the very least. It may be ugly as I do something really stupid, but we're going to go for it. So looking at this setup with such a strong Russian opener, uh, I kind of decided the destroyer build is not too far off of my regular Axis play. I'm sure you could. There's probably a lot you can do with it in the later turns. It's trying to make the allies have to kill that battleship. The main thing it does is it makes it so that they can't kill the battleship round one because this destroyer won't be able to add in. So they would only have a fighter bomber from UK or the 2 fighters from Russia that could hit it. So I mean that's the main reason behind it because it lets the battleship live and then you play with it after that. Uh, I decided, you know what? I'm going to try that the tank rush. That's what I decided to go into. So then I decided, okay, so tank rush. How do I want to play this? There's a way that for those that have watched my games or my puzzles, I think it was the first or second puzzle I did, where Snake Plissken and Emre they did this whole tank rush and brought the battleship out to the Atlantic to kill the cruiser here and put pressure on the Atlantic at the same time. And then I've seen, I believe Marius is one that like he uses transport to come up in a showcase game. To me, I think I'm leaning towards if we're going to put pressure towards the east, let's put pressure toward the east, and we're going to go all out with coming this direction. So I'm going to go ahead and use the transport to bring some units to Ukraine and really just try to stack Ukraine big here. So we're going 6 tanks and an infantry build. And we're going to see what happens here. Up here in C Zone 7. By the way, I'm on my old computer still. For those that have been watching, I've had some glitchy in the computer. To use my other computer, I just don't have access to it anytime I want, and so I'm just sticking with my old computer. I cleaned some disk space, and I shut down any other programs running. I guess I do have something running in there. I got Discord running. Um, hopefully it's not laggy. If it continues to be laggy, we'll see. I'm hoping that maybe clearing out the disk space and making sure nothing else was running will solve that. So I apologize now if it is some laggy throughout the game. But in any case, so since we're not doing a bomber build or coming out to C Zone 13, the reality is we're not going to dead zone his Atlantic fleet drop. He's going to have a full fleet drop. So I'm just going to go ahead and effectively kill the C Zone 7 and just make sure we get it done without any issues. So from there, let's see, we're going to bring everything within range into Ukraine and try to go for as efficient and effective of a kill as we can. Do I want to bring the The fighters, though? You know, I hadn't thought about that. Maybe I don't need to risk the fighters. Thinking I don't really want to risk the fighters, actually. I don't think I need to. Let's see, what's that bring us? That's bringing us 7, 11, 17, so 3 hits in the battleship. You know, we could lose an extra unit or two. I'm just going to lay off the fighters, I think. We're going to... You know, we're going to throw one in there. I don't know. I hate going for it, but I think we're gonna throw one in there just for the like extra boost. Maybe I should throw them all in there. Yeah, y'all can tell me if y'all go ahead and throw all of them in against AA since you're bringing all this land. You know, is it worth risking the fighters in there with the AA? So here we go. Let's see what happens. Did I forget something? I feel like I forgot something. Anything else, Jimmer, you can do? Cha. I think that's it. All right, away we go. So we need 6 hits total. Good hit. Ah, come on, battleship. Alright. AA missed at least. Oh, yeah. They, oh, perfect. Glad I brought that fighter. Yes. Yes. Okay, now that's great. I am happy with that. Just get a clean kill up here. Ugh. Of course you got a hit. Oh, come on. Ugh. I'm not that. The defending sub was the only thing that hit. There we go. Well, could have gone smoother. Could have gone uglier. Alright, so I know I do want to get all the tanks I can get into here. Oh, yeah, I want to have one in there. I don't want to give him a freebie. Guess I could have brought that up to there later. Oh well. Something to think about for the future. I believe normally 2 infantry is good with the 5 planes and an AA, so I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to bring what we can this way. Yeah, I'd say maybe I should just... Well, no, it led for an effective kill there. Let's see, anything we're forgetting to move? I always hate G1 and all these spaghetti lines. We'll see how this goes. I mean, I guess the one thing, maybe I should have put the infantry there. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't really give my transport anything really to do next turn, so they don't really need to go after the battleship transport. Um, or maybe I can take it and close the Suez, or pick up this guy in Gibraltar and do something funny over here. Abandon Africa and pull these guys out. I don't know. We'll see what comes next. So I think our big thing is just to push hard here and maybe create an India or a Moscow timing. We'll see. I'm not really sure. Probably should think out the whole tank rush a little bit better. I mean, I suppose they're always going for Russia, right? They're going for Moscow, so I guess that's where I'm going. All right, here we are back for Japan 1 and my tank rush uh, bid. Couple notes real quick for my German turn again. First time ever trying to do this, and I already noticed a couple goof ups, and you guys probably noticed it. One, I forgot I had two tanks in France that could have been in Ukraine, so this could have been two, and actually even probably better if I had known that, then I would have transported over the AA instead of a tank. So it should be four tanks and an AA on here as well, just to make this a little less tempting. Um, the other thing, when I transported to Karelia, I pulled the infantry or AA from Germany and put it in here when I should have pulled the infantry from Norway and put it here, so that this should be one infantry here, and then I would have one more infantry coming here, so this would be a three here. So right off the bat, a couple inaccuracies. It's a learning thing. Uh, we'll get it. So UK turn. Obviously, they did drop the fleet. Truthfully, I mean, I guess he just wanted to wait for that to have the infantry and the tank, but I would have gone ahead and uh, come on and brought that transport over, even taken France and sacrificed it. I'm not going to take five fighters against five fleet, so he would have been safe to go ahead and come on up here and be ready to do whatever he wanted to do the next turn. But if he wants to wait for those, that's fine. Um, he did kill the battleship. He did it with just a destroyer and bomber, actually, which is a little riskier than I would have thought he would take. He came out with the bomber living. Um, the interesting thing of this, one of the things that I immediately come to me is, okay, he's putting his bomber in Caucasus with this thrust. Caucasus is obviously at a very big threat unless he's planning on taking Ukraine. So this already tells me that his intention is he's going to go ahead and take Ukraine. So I'm already planning that in my head. Okay, so Russia's taking Ukraine in R2. If he doesn't, then if he fails and he leaves a unit or two, even with just the six tanks, um, 7, 8 tanks hitting units in here, unless he moves everything. That's the other option. He could be abandoning West Russia and going to stack Caucasus, I guess, which is obviously just a win right there as well. So I wouldn't expect that, but it could be the plan. So that's what that's signifying to me. Um, the other side of this is the part that's going to make this game go pretty nicely for me is he decided to do a C-Zone 37 attack. He lost his fighters. I still had a battleship and one fighter remain living from the attack. So I still got 5 fighters on the board plus my 2 battleships. He also tried to do the double single island takes with his transports. Failed in both of those. Over here in Egypt, he did whatever over here. So some different placements here or whatever. The big thing being all these units being over here. The ones in Egypt could go UK2, UK3. They're not getting back to India. The tank could go UK2, UK3. The tank can get back. Of course, that's assuming I'm probably gonna take this. I don't know. I haven't really decided. We'll think that through. But if I take this, if he wants the tank to make it back for a J3 timing, then he'll have to not attack with it and do a um, non-combat blitz through. Okay, I'm gonna take a second. I'm gonna pause and come right back just because I got a thing saying overload, so we might be getting skippy. So hold on a second. All right. Hopefully, if it was skipping, hopefully stopping and starting, restarting took out the skip to it. It looks like everything's tracing on speed. So, all right. So, in any case, all that's to say is a J3 on India is looking rather tempting. For that matter, just overall, a J3, a round 3 or round 4 VC snipe win is certainly on the board. Part of that will depend on what US does. Of course, everything he's done, putting all his Russian units up here, trying to see zone 37, it's implying a KJF, in which case if it's KJF, then obviously I shouldn't be able to get Hawaii, which will take the VC win off the board. But nonetheless, even in a KJF, I still am leaning towards going for that J3 timing on India. I know some people say Japan shouldn't take India in a KJF, but when it's early like that, I think they should. I know I don't like it when they do. Well, I think I've only had that happen once or twice. But anyways, so that's the plan. So I got the two transports living. So I'm choosing to build an infantry, artillery, a tank, and two more transports. I could have built something more defensive, realizing we're going up against a KJF, but I'm not super scared right now against the KJF, so I'm okay with building that because that's going to allow me the maximal movement and pressure of units getting to the mainland and whatnot. So we're going to go with it. I didn't think super hard on it, so it may be a matter of it could have been slightly more efficient, but I think it'll be fine. Little warning popped up again. We'll see. You have to see how this video. Again, I apologize now if it's jumpy. So normally, as you go into this, I wouldn't suggest engaging with Russia so much, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go ahead and attack in here. I'll save that for last just because I haven't fully thought it through yet. What I do want to do is I want to leave a unit, a ground unit here, because if he does come here and I decide to go for the bloodbath in Ukraine, I want to have as many fighters, Japan fighters in here to be able to come into Ukraine to help support a G2 Ukraine. If it looks like, so if they're going KJF, if they're going KGF and the US clears out, then I'm probably going to shift to focusing on the victory cities, let them have Ukraine in essence, and focus on securing the victory cities. But I don't know what's going to happen yet, so I want to get as many of my Japan fighters in range of Ukraine as possible to help support or even West Russia for that matter, to help support a German push. The other thing with all this talk of a J3 timing, because of how it's going, I am not going to attack Pearl, which is very rare for me. I almost always attack Pearl. But the stranded fighter down here kind of made it a little more awkward on everything I wanted to do. And not having the other fighter already, having already lost one fighter, I think I'm just going to pull out. But what I do want to do is I want to make sure that C Zone 45 is dead zoned, because that's the area where he could move his fleet down and then fly fighters. You know, he could fly this fighter to the Western Australia, this fighter and this fighter to 45, and then next turn fly them in, US2 fly them into India. So that's 3 US fighters that could be there in for the J3. So I don't want to allow that. So I'm going to do this a little bit to kill these guys so that I free as much of my Air Force as I need to clear the rest of this. So I'm only going to leave land the one fighter on here. I am going to need a battleship back here. Oh, we need to do my landing first. Leaving one battleship back to protect from fighter or bomber, wherever I decide to build the transports at. And so let's see. So far, we got an attack power of 9 plus the battleship. It'd be nice to get. Oh wait, forgot that guy on 11. So I'm okay if we don't get any more support there. 2. Or 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to come here so that he can land down here. We'll use him to help up here. So we got 4 V2 with 1 fighter. We got 3 V2 with a bomber. So the question is, which way do we go with this fighter? Do we take on the cursed Enway, or do we make this a little bit cleaner up here? With all these Russian dudes up here, I'm going to elect to make this cleaner. Hopefully have 2 guys live so that he just has 3 infantry versus 2. And we'll let Enway go as Enway goes. Never know what to expect there. We're hoping 2 of these guys live so they could come back and be participants on the transport train. Or actually, one of them will be this guy because I'm not moving him in. I know that's weakening my J3 just a little bit, but I just want to protect my fighters. Suppose I could bring one here and do the fighter here. Do you want to do 3-2 and what? Did that. Might be silly. We'll see. We're experimenting. This game's a play around game anyway, so let's play around. Both transports taken care of. Always nice to take care of Yunnan in one round of battle. Let's go battleship. There you go. Okay then. We got the hits there. And nice. Complete miss. Alright, here we go. This is a biggie. Cursed battle. Oh, wow. Of course, we didn't have to send any fighters. But of course he got 2 hits. I just have to laugh at that one over and over again. Nice. That's kind of nice because, I mean, he's only got the 1 bomber and infantry, so there's a chance if he did 2 infantry and a bomber that maybe we could hold Burma, and that would make stacking at J2 easier. And the bomber misses of all people. Didn't even need the bomber. Alright, well, other than on why it all went fine. On why he could, US may decide to kill him. I mean, taking the 2 infantry and the fighter is not a bad play for US there, especially if they're going KJF. But I get 4 of my fighters in there with my infantry, so attacking there wouldn't be a good move. I want to bring infantry so that they can move here, J2. The tank can always, blitz through, assuming we can stack Burma and J2. This guy we want here. We're going to pull these guys into here. We're going to pull this guy on down in here. And that should give me enough to dead zone from the sub carrier destroyer 2 fighters. We will have our carrier destroyer sub 1 fighter plus 2 more fighters and a bomber that can come from here. Got battleship destroyer to protect from this bomber, battleship to protect from the fighter attack. Suppose I could bring this destroyer down here too, actually, and I think about it just to make it a little more uncomfortable, because he's not going to do a, well, I shouldn't say that. Anybody can do whatever they want. He could choose to do a single bomber against a battleship, but I would not expect it. Alright. So just to kind of review, so we got 4 boats here. We've got 2 tanks, 1 artillery, 2 infantry. Doesn't seem like a balance there, right? Well, of course, the 1 boat's going to come and pick up the infantry artillery here and come down to 36 in Burma. That leaves us 3 boats for essentially the 5 units there. But one of these boats can take one of the units and come to Borneo to pick up this guy for J3. Or he could come down into 50, probably 50, and then we can bring a fleet over to heading to Pearl on J3 if we've got enough of the other 3 boats alone for India. So we got some options there to be able to move things around. Okay, here we are for Germany 2. This may not turn out to be all that great of a game, but we'll keep recording since we started it and finish this what we can. And I'm going to continue my tank rush here. But so, any case, Russia here, you can see they decided to go for Karelia at all. They ended up not going for Ukraine, which is, and built these units here, which are just ripe for the killing. They sent 1 fighter after my 1 infantry, lost their fighter. I didn't even notice on R1 they sent a fighter after the cruiser in C-Zone 5 and lost the fighter. I didn't even notice he only had 1 fighter. If I'm going to keep doing this, I should pay a little closer attention to what's going on rather than just assuming, what happened. So any case, so he's got these 4 units here. We got our tanks built. We've got these couple infantry coming. He's got because he left this transport here, he's got nobody that can hit Karelia other than these 7 infantry. He's got no fighters left. We take care of that tank. He'll have no tanks left. So my goal this turn is to get him down to the 7 infantry and 4 artillery is all he's got left, plus whatever he builds, and then this stuff over here, it is harassing Japan a little bit. We'll let Japan worry about them. Meanwhile, I do got my Japan Air Force that can come in. He did take U.S. here, which I think that was a smart move. And U.S. meanwhile looks like they're going to try a two ocean type of a approach here. I didn't even look. I guess he built two carriers. He built two carriers, two transports, which was a little confusing to me. He took the Solomons. I mean, at least this transport, he's got these infantry he can pick up, or he can go to the north. I guess I need to remember that he put his bomber up here, just in case. Meanwhile, this transport over here has got nothing but an AA gun. He does have three infantry in here, so there will be one left over. So I guess he'll be able to come up here and have an AA and an infantry for it for the next turn. But what's that really gonna do? I don't know. So any case, uh, I do need to be careful. Need to make sure I don't let these guys do something silly and let Japan get stuffed up. Meanwhile, I think we'll take Japan and clean up this and maybe hold the front here. We'll see. I don't know that we'll press the attack. Maybe we'll press into here and then let him come in and then come back. I don't know. We are thin on troops from here up. We are definitely thin on Japan troops versus his 6 infantry and fighter he's got floating around. So got to be mindful of that. Nonetheless, uh, purchase. Continuing with my tank rush, we're going to just see if we can't just blitz all the way to Moscow and take India, get those two, square away our cities, and not have to worry. Um, well, if we can get those two, then we'll worry about creeping off to. Oh no, if we get those three, sorry, Karelia, Moscow, and India, if we can take those three, then hold on to our Philippines, we'll get our win. So I lost track of our cities there. I'm like, I'm short somebody. So in any case, I did want to build some ground because I do need to be able to defend, when he drops people in France, which I'm guessing that's what he's planning on doing, is coming to France and dumping everything in France. Kind of seems to be the new player starting strategy is dump everything into France. So we'll be ready for that, with these guys plus these guys and the Air Force. So my plan is to take Karelia this turn. Next turn I'll be able to hit whatever he puts in here, bring the Air Force on up to Karelia, press everything forward, get ready for an attack on Moscow. Next turn I'll start building out all infantry. So this will probably be my last round of tanks, as I'll probably be building out 6 grounds here, and then whatever else spent back here in Berlin to then defend against the little attack here. So here we go. I'm not gonna. Well, I can't send in the air, but I wouldn't send in the air anyways. I don't need to. He's got his 13 units here with these two just not really defensive units and a heavy tank assault, so that should be fine. As long as we got, with 7 infantry being able to counter me, as long as we got about 5 tanks living up here, we should be fine. These guys have nothing better to do. We're not attacking that fleet, so we might as well just try and wipe these guys out in one shot. So we'll take out either side. Since we're taking out this bomber, that's going to weaken his India, but it's also going to weaken him in Africa here. So I think we're just going to go ahead and just kill as many units with the Germans as we can. This could go sideways a little bit. Probably the riskiest I'm doing. He'll still have 2 infantry and a tank that can attack. It's super concerned because Japan's going to be taking India and then coming into Africa soon after if all things go well. But we might as well take out some units on the way out. Really? Well, that's not a great start. Well, that wasn't a great start to things. Nothing like the bomber hitting back. Boy. Ugh, good gracious. Oh my goodness. Okay. That was unexpected. Uh, I'm gonna pause for a minute. I'm gonna see what I need to survive to be able to bring the Air Force in and be able to hold Caucasus, but I think we've already lost too much. So we're gonna pause. I'm gonna make you sit here while I calculate. All right. So it's bad news, worse news, and bad news. If I retreat, it's already a slightly profitable battle for him. That might be the best option is to retreat. It would just be a barely profitable battle for him. To hold Caucasus, if I had 4 tanks to live and I bring them over, it would be a profitable battle for Russia, but I could hold it. To keep it a non-profitable battle, I'd have to take this without any more losses. So I'm just going with it. Ugh, could have used more than 2 hits. All right, let's finish it. Whiff, whiff. Oh, thank you, dice, in the end. I should have been much more of a profit there, but whew. Let's just do this in one shot. What we need, like 4 hits, something like that. 4 hits, one shot. There we go. Good thing I got more tanks coming. Oh, come on. Good gracious. Dice. 3. I'll have 3 attacking. Yeah, we might as well retreat this one. Right. Let him come to me. Yeah. What fun dice. What fun dice. Well, hopefully we can hold these 2 areas. This should be a definite. This should be a good hold and actually add a profit now if we bring all of the Japan air over here. Which means we do gotta watch out for these guys without any air other than the one fighter. Alright, well, that was not as fun as I thought it was going to be, but I think we're sitting okay. Ooh, I thought I'd do... Ah! Alright, there we go. Alright. Here we come for UK, or excuse me, Japan round 2. Let's see, I didn't even look at what UK did. They did 3 infantry, 2 artilleries, 2 transports, so they put a couple transports down here. So they're, yeah, like I said, I expected them to land in France. And we're going to need to build more attacking units next turn as well, we'll start getting stacked up here. The good news is after this turn, after the US comes, the next one coming up only has Like we said, he can have the one infantry and an AA. So, the next wave will be the 3 transports of UK, but then only 1 infantry from the US to add in, and then maybe the fighter if they haven't done that, or the bomber. They could fly in some planes maybe. So that's where we stand down here. They marched some back again. You know, dice not on my side, it looks like, because yeah, he destroyed the infantry, tank, and artillery, and lost just the one infantry in what should have been a even Steven battle. So UK got a lot of money this turn. That's gonna get annoying. But Japan, again, we should be able to set up pretty easily for Japan to take India on round 3, because he's got this bomber here and he's got his 2 fighters here, which can reach 61, so they can do the whole, 3 fighter sacrifice a sub, hit back here type of thing. Um, I got to protect the transports here. I got to protect the transport that's going to be in 36. I need to protect the transport that's going to be in 47. So I got to protect all 3, and I'm going to use a destroyer block. Oh, you know what? He's going to take Philly unless I use the double destroyer block. Not really what I was wanting to do. So I'm flying on my air over here. I'm going to be weak on fleet. I might have to change my buy up a little bit here. Now that I think about it. I knew I couldn't buy transports, but I know I'm also putting 2 of the transports down here, so I was wanting to be as efficient on my growth, so I was going to put go ahead and build a factory. But as I look at this, I'm starting to wonder if I should maybe build a couple Navy units just to prepare. So I need to make sure I dead zone in here the 48, the C zone 48. So I'm going to pause for a second. I'm going to real quick figure out my dead zone real quick. Okay, yeah, so now we'll be able to dead zone 48 still. I'd still go forward with the purchase I got set up. I am going to use a destroyer block in here just so he doesn't hit me in this regards, but otherwise we are standing good. So we're going to move forward. So I'm buying 2 infantry and artillery, and there's the AA gun still, so I'll have 2 transports I can still pick up next turn off the mainland. So that's what I'm building them for. And then I'm building a bomber and a complex. A bomber just to help with the whole dead zoning, as well as it's not absolutely needed for India, but it'll guarantee India more, in that battle. So there we go. So I think I gotta take a shot at trying to kill this fighter up here. I mean, I could just let the infantry live and just have a standoff here. Let's not risk it. Let's just let he's not gonna, this transport can't hit there yet. Let's save the artillery and go that way. Even better yet, I'll take one of the fighters for that battle. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, this is gonna make the factory very painful. Oh, good gracious. I was not counting on that. I don't know why I wouldn't with how the dice have been. Oh my goodness. This game is just a comedy of errors on my behalf. Are you kidding me? Oh, thank heavens. Boy, this is not. This is not a strong showing by me. I think I might be risking life and limb putting them in there, but I think we're just gonna move it all over there. Alright, let's see. So, I want battleship covering him. Got a battleship covering those guys. Got my carrier, cruiser, fighter, destroyer covering these guys. So we do have 3 fighters that could reach here, but I still feel like we should be okay there. Because he could do a 1, 2, 3, 4 non-combat, the carrier, and sub there. And then these 2 fighters could go 1, 2, 3, 4. So he can hit those with 3 fighters, but I still got a carrier, fighter, destroyer, cruiser sitting over here, so I feel pretty good. I do want to make sure we get submerge taken off. Get to my standard fence profiles. That was annoying. I mean, I expected to lose the 1, so I mean, the end result turned out what I thought, but that was scarier than it needed to be. All right. So the best he can have here is 10, 11, or excuse me, the 10 infantry, the artillery, the AA, and 3 fighters, because none of these guys can make it in. So he's got 11, 12, 15 units total. We do got all 6 of my airplanes targeting him. We got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 units, 15, 16 with the tanks. So we should have numbers pretty well on India. All right. Germany 3, so I started doing my turn, forgetting to record, mainly because I was just frustrated. I'm trying to do everything I can to lose this game, so yeah, this is what the Pacific looks like. Ugh. I did exactly what I said I wasn't going to do. I wasn't going to forget about that bomber up here, and, well, I forgot about the bomber. So the bomber with the 2 fighters was able to take the battleship out. He just took the bomber for a loss. all because I didn't take that guy. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to take the bomber. I didn't even think about the bomber. I was thinking about the bomber threatening these guys. Wasn't thinking about the 61. Lost it. Lost these guys. Both his fighters survived. So now he's actually got a pretty strong position against my guys. Not much I can do about this on the German turn. I'll have to deal with this in the Japan turn because I still want to go ahead and finish off India if at all possible. So, yeah. Not smart play by me. So, as I thought, he's just dumping into France, which is nice. I'm getting this free money from the Norway, Finland. I should be able to kill France pretty effectively, and I went ahead and it is time to just start building infantry. So this is just a not a good example. Now we're just going to see this. This is going to turn into a video of can I salvage this game. So I do still want to hopefully build in all both the Karelia and Caucasus. So I'm going to do what I can to hold on to those. I'm kind of out of fighters, so I'm going to try doing the 3 infantry versus 1 infantry attack here. Forget what that is. It's like a 90% chance of winning or something. It's important I win because I want to blitz these tanks non-combat on down to Caucasus. And these tanks up to Karelia, fighters up to Karelia, and hold that pincher. So that's the big battle. Well, both these are big battles. We need to clear France too. So here we go. Let's get to hit the first round. Let's not sweat this out any more than we have to. There we go. Alright, we need 6 hits. Got 5 of them at least. I'm gonna keep these guys here so they can go this way, they can go that way. Or they can come back to France if for some reason France is not looking super happy. Did he leave his one transport? Because I thought he had a transport that was going to go up there. I'm confused now. I was counting on him having... Yeah, he left his one transport behind. Oops, didn't mean to scratch those. Put them back in there. So, I mean, we're bringing the units hopefully a little faster than he can build them here. We're going to need Japan to get up here and help out. And Japan's going to be slow as all get out. So, Unfortunately, I don't think we can do the crushing shot on Moscow without risking too much, so we'll see. We'll have, what, 17 tanks, bring in 8 infantry, so 25, 30 units, counting them. He's got 17, and I'm going to build probably 8 in there, so 25. You could, oh, those guys can't fly in there. So we'll build all that on. Oh, well, he's going to have 2 builds, I guess, right? He's going to have Russia 3 and Russia 4, so he's going to add 16 units to that, so he's going to have 33 units. Yeah, it's going to be tight. We'll have to look at it next on the G4 build. If building a bomber or 2, we'll put it over the edge to take Moscow on G5. And I don't even care if I take it with Germany at this point, even though they're doing a quasi KGF. I just want to get India, get that, get my Philippines back, and be done with it. Alright, well, that's what we're going to do for today. Alright, J3, here we go. Do K3, about 7 infantry, 4 artilleries. He did go to attack Germany, so he went in attacking Germany. But 6 units, 2 fighters, and his cruiser versus whatever it was I had in there. So he killed 3 infantry, 2 AA guns. The cost of 3 infantry, 2 artillery is a tank and a fighter. So I don't think it was worth it. That might be signs of he's just getting desperate at this point, especially since he has no U.S. coming to back him up. So if we can get 1, 2, I don't know that this is an option in round 4 or not. That's not going to be an option in round 4, so it would depend if we can get some sort of matching on Moscow, which I don't think we're going to get because we're just going to go ahead and take India this turn. So unfortunately, it doesn't like a 4-round victory city, but maybe 5 we'll be able to stack things up and take Moscow. I don't know. Anyways, so we are going to go ahead. You know, it stinks. We lost the 2 transports here. It's going to just slow things down, and we lost the Philippines. So annoying. We can still take the India. You know, I'm going to do it without just take the transport by itself. We're going to kill this fleet. This fleet can't reach him. What we are gonna do is he does have 1 infantry on here. Not too worried about him hitting Tokyo itself, even if I didn't build anybody else. Although we are gonna build a few more people. You know, I didn't even run the odds, but if he's got what the one infantry, 2 fighters, and a battleship. Well, he won't even have the battleship because I'm going to put a destroyer here because I don't want him to attack 48 with the battleship carrier. So I'm going to build a destroyer and put it there. So he's not going to be able to bombard. So he's just going to have the 1 infantry, 2 fighters, and we're not going to be able to move anything. So we're going to have, let's see, what are we building? We're building the 4 units here. 3 of those are going to go in the ground and the mainland. So even if all we have is 2 infantry, 2 artillery, and AA, 1 infantry, 2 fighters, him surviving and conquering it's a 5% chance. So you know, who knows? I suppose if we land the bomber back in there, that'll help it out too, I'm sure. Yeah, so we'll have a 2% chance at Tokyo. I suppose I could just put 2 units here and put another one in here, which may be the smart thing to do since it looks like he's getting desperate. Oh wait, no, that would take him down to a 0.5% chance. So maybe we'll just build the 2 units here since he may be getting desperate. So what we're going to do, like I said, I want to prevent these guys from being able to reattack on 48. He's still going to have two fighters sub-destroyer, and I'm going to be very thin here, so he's still going to have a decent chance at wiping my fleet that remains right here, which kind of stinks. But I will have 6 on ground, and he's got nothing else coming, and I'll have my planes, and we'll get it back. He's got nothing else coming, so we'll be okay. So what I want to do is I do want to attack this here with everything but the destroyer, because I gotta get a destroyer on both 51 and 60 to potentially block here. So I'm gonna have to non-combat him through. So we're taking the 5 units in there to attack his 5 with the battleship, and we're gonna hope to have the battleship carrier and a fighter live. We'll see. We're gonna go ahead and take the Philippines over here. See if the bomber could reach there, that would have been nice, but it can't. I potentially, the other option, I could have taken these and wiped out his UK fleet, but just not worth it right now. We are going to get as much land grab as we can. Of course, that does mean that, this one guy can't attack either one of those, so that is what it is. This is the main big battle. Well, I guess India is the main big battle. Don't know why that would be implausible, but evidently they think it is. I think it's because it has the factory on it is one of the things that throws off the in-game predictions. I think that's where I read somewhere. So let's get 4 hits right here, right off the bat. Just end it quickly. Well, 2 at least. Two hits. Take this shot there. Take a shot there. Now I wish I could retreat, but then we wouldn't be able to take the Philippines. So I really need that fighter to miss. I count on him missing. He did not miss. Boy. Where did the fighter come from? Fighter came from here, so we can fly him on through Atlanta. So since we'll have a battleship carrier by itself. Let's see, 2 fighters sub-destroyer. Yeah, this kind of stinks. I was hoping there was a 70% chance that the fighter would survive. I was kind of counting on it. So, sub-destroyer, if we got a battleship carrier by itself, what's that look like? Only a 10% chance of me living that. So we might as well save the fighter, right? Let the carrier burn up. And I might as well save this destroyer too. No reason to throw him out there. Even the destroyer I'm building, I might just throw in 62. No reason to just... I don't need to block anything. Huh. Well, that stinks. Another dice battle gone not quite like I wanted. Now, granted, this one is not super dicey. I mean, there's a 30% chance, but Ugh. Still frustrating. Yay, the AA missed, so that's good at least. I'll take that. Oh, I forgot my bomber. That's what happened. Oh, oh, you idiot, Chris. You idiot. Well, that would have been nice if I would have remembered that. That would have been the difference. That would have been the savior. Ah, I just, such a horrible game I'm playing. Let's see. I need to double check this battle, see what I need as far as planes come back up here. I think I actually need the planes to come back up there as well. So I am going to drop my destroyer in here, my 3 units, since I'm landing my fighter. I'll be safe here. So with my 3 units in here, I'm going to drop my destroyer back here. I was going to put him in here to prevent him from being able to attack along the land here or here, but now I've got backup. He's only got 1 infantry, so let him attack. See if he'll leave the destroyer alone if I leave it up here. So actually, I may still go ahead and put the destroyer up here. We'll see. I don't know. But first off, I'm going to go ahead and end the unit here. No reason to keep recording this. This is such a poor game played by me. Again, forgetting that bomber would have been the difference of me being able to save the fleet and just having to trash the fleet now. The good news is I'll be able to come back to take the Philippines if he does suicide into the Philippines. So, yay. Um, so, all right, we're going to end.